A community hit by hate when a man leaves tire marks all over a pride flag painted on an intersection. Residents around the area speaking out in disgust. 7's Danielle Garcia is live in Fort Lauderdale with more on the search for that driver. Danielle, good morning.
Good morning, Lorena. That mural right behind me was unveiled just about 20 days ago. Already it's been damaged and covered with skid marks. The community here is saddened, as you mentioned, but they are planning to redo it. In fact, the cleanup process has already begun.
All right, guys, so in this edition of Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff World, it seems like we have the town of Fort Lauderdale having an absolute meltdown over an act of hate and bigotry towards a pride flag that was put on a road. Okay, so they, I guess, put a pride flag in the middle of the road. I'm going to show you guys a video. And then some guy driving a truck and some people on a bike came by and left skid marks on the pride flag that was in the road, right? I guess the pride flag being in the road is supposed to be like a memorial or something like that. It's supposed to be some type of art dedicated towards the LGBTQ community. I'm not sure exactly what else they thought would happen, but that pride flag got vandalized, if you could even call it that, as again, they left skid marks on it. And this town is having an absolute meltdown over this. It's really sad. Take a look.
Well, it's a brand new installation in the city of Fort Lauderdale, a pride flag, and it was already vandalized, not once, but possibly twice. Only on 6 tonight, it seems that a group of men on bicycles may have targeted the flag first. Alyssa joins us now with more, and police are now set to review this other incident. Alyssa?
Right, well, police are now looking into that latest video. In fact, Fort Lauderdale Police were back out here just about an hour ago to pick up that new surveillance video. We're understanding that they're going to then review that video and look to see whether they believe that this was another intentional act of vandalism against this pride flag behind me.
New video tonight raising even more suspicions after a new pride flag installation in the city of Fort Lauderdale was found defaced, left covered in skid marks. Fort Lauderdale Police was already investigating the vandalism after surveillance video from the nearby Merriweather Resort showed a pickup truck on February 28th doing a blowout over the length of the flag, leaving dark tire tracks behind, all while the passenger of his car gets out and films.
I just see people that just have time on their hands that are destructing property and spewing hate.
Mary Jo Whitehurst, who manages the Merriweather, also found this surveillance video from a few days before that. Guests had mentioned bicyclists leaving behind skid marks. The new video, which she only discovered today, is still being reviewed by police. It shows at least 3 young men on bicycles circling the flag, leaving tire marks several times. At one point, one of them takes out his phone and begins filming. We're still waiting for police to tell us whether they think this was also an intentional act. The installation had been on display for less than a month, a city project unveiled just in time for Pride of the Americas in February. The mayor with a strong message for the culprits.
Take your hate somewhere else. We do not want you or anyone like you to be in our city. That's not what we are about here in Fort Lauderdale.
Meanwhile, the damage left behind cannot simply be washed away, and neither can the pain that it caused for so many who admired the pride and inclusivity that it represented.
It is incredibly hurtful. It's something that we work for at Pride, is to bring people together, to let them know that we expel the hate and try to stay positive and loving. And to see this, which is completely senseless, it's completely filled with hate.
Now, again, it's not clear yet whether police believe that those men on bicycles were leaving those tire marks, those skid marks, intentionally. We know that the video will be reviewed to make that determination. Meanwhile, as for that pickup truck incident, we did get a statement from the chief of police from Fort Lauderdale, who said the department is, quote, deeply disturbed this incident took place. We stand in support of our LGBTQ community and will continue to gather details surrounding this vandalism. For now, we're live tonight in Fort Lauderdale. Alyssa Hyman, NBC6 News.
Oh my God, boo-hoo, my pride flag got vandalized. This truck driver did a burnout on the pride flag and left skid marks on it. Oh my God, I'm so upset.
Bruh. These people, again, this is what they consider to be an act of hate and bigotry in 2023. Okay, what did you think would happen when you had a pride flag being put in the street? What do you think would happen? Okay, it's the same thing with the BLM thing. Okay, they got upset when that got vandalized. It's like the BLM thing in Washington, D.C. Okay, you remember they had the BLM memorial on the street? Okay, what do you think is going to happen when you put something like that in the street, right? You think that people aren't going to drive over it, right? Technically, if you want to go by what the definition of vandalism is, if that's vandalism, right? If doing a burnout on that pride flag, which is in the street, okay, they put it in the street, it's vandalism, then just anybody driving over the pride flag is an act of vandalism, right? It's silly, okay? It's going to get destroyed, right? It's going to get defaced just in virtue of people driving over it, which tells you that it shouldn't have been in the road in the first place. Shouldn't have been on the road. But see, this is what you get. This is what you get for all this fake, woke, needless, senseless virtue signaling. Why? Okay, whose life has been improved by this flag being in the road, in the street? Whose life has been improved? Whose life is being hurt by people vandalizing it, right? By people, doing a burnout on it. Whose life has been hurt by that? Nobody's life is being hurt. But you would think, according to these people, that somebody was hurt. Somebody was killed, okay, as a result of what happened. And that's just simply not the case. And the funny part here is some of the comments here on the video, right? In response to this, because again, it's just funny. Okay, they said a community hit by hate because of tire marks on the road, right? Let's read some of these comments. This person says, how dare they put tires on the roads? Roads are meant for painting, not driving. Don't deface their religious symbols. Shame on the truck driver for not elevating itself. More to the story, don't paint a mural on a public street. Facts. Maybe the majority doesn't want it on their streets. What, cars on the road? No, impossible. More on the search for the driver. Who is driving on the road? Where is he supposed to be driving? The local media is chock full of dummies. Yeah, they're woke. They're woke as hell. If you don't want skid marks on your sacred sigil, maybe don't paint it on a public street. Facts. That's common sense. If they had common sense, they would know that, but they don't. Keep things you love so much out of the road would be my advice. Yeah, I mean, look, again, this is sad, bro. This is sad that we live in a country where people are acting like, an act of violence was committed because somebody left skid marks on a pride flag that should have been in the street in the first place. Okay, stop putting your religious symbols everywhere, and maybe, just maybe, they won't get vandalized. I'm just saying. When they say, oh, what is your issue with, LGBTQ rights or whatever, I'm like, look, I don't have any issue with LGBTQ rights. However, they're not fighting for equal rights anymore, right? That's not what we're talking about. They have all their rights. Again, ask any one of them, what right don't you currently have that you want, right? And they won't be able to name anything. They can't name anything at all because they have all their rights. What they want is special rights and privileges. Like, for example, to be able to put their religious symbol on the street and then expect nobody to drive over it, right? Again, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. It's ridiculous. It really is. And what's sadder is the response from the officials and the local media in that area, in which they're treating this like some type of serious crime, right? When it's not, right? It's not a serious crime. This is what happens when you put objects in the street or things on the road. They get ran over. It's really that simple. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.